Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a very special one. We're going to talk about the newest palette from MADWITCH Cosmetics, and this is the Star palette. This is exactly how the sleeve of the palette also looks. So you have everything written back, is the ingredient list, where it is made. It has a 12-month shelf life. It is cruelty free. If you guys want to see how beautiful this palette is, how the swatches and how the looks came out, then please keep on watching. So this is called the Star palette. It signifies a renewal of the spirit, bringing forth calmness, serenity and optimistic outlook for the future. This card represents a strong connection to one's spirituality and potential for emotional and physical healing. It's a symbol of radiant positive energy. Who doesn't love that? I absolutely love it, and the color story looks absolutely gorgeous. It has 8 mattes and 8 shimmers, out of which some of them are like duochromes, multichromes. There's some amazing shifting shades. We're going to do 3 looks using this palette. This is the first look that I created using this palette, but I wanted to live swatch it with you guys. It also comes with a mirror. If you are interested in this palette, I have a code with them. It's Smithy Sony. It is an affiliate code. It will save you 10% off on their website, and you can use my code on anything on their website. Let's begin swatching because I'm so excited about it. Let's do row by row. The first shade is called Sense of Hope, and this is a smooth, like a black paste multichrome. It looks like teal green, but it shifts to a purple. If you can see, it's such an amazing smooth shade. It won't be unique to your collection, especially if you have a lot of like black based multichromes. Look how smooth that was. That's beautiful. I'm sure you can see the shifts coming through. Really pretty, and look how smooth it is. Obviously, with the look that I've created, I used several textures in the palette and it looks so smooth on the eyes. Very impressed about it. Let's move on to the next 2 matte shades, Inspiration and Positivity. I love the names that they chose for this palette. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so let's swatch both of these like warm olivey green shades. Very pigmented, super smooth. So that's Inspiration and Positivity. That's beautiful. Really nice. Let's move on to the last shimmer of that row, and that is called Renewal of Spirit. It looks like a very smooth shade. It's like a cobalt blue to a UV purple. Hopefully you can see that. You know how much I love my purples. I'm not complaining about it, okay? Okay, let's swatch this. Swatches so amazingly well. Really beautiful. Like, can you imagine that, like a blue smoky eye? That'll be amazing. Beautiful. The shifts is not that much prominent in the camera, but on my naked eye, I definitely can see blue and a purple. Okay, let's move on to the second row. I'm dying to swatch the shade. Calmness. Looks like a cool tone green shade, but I also see flips of pink. Is it pink or purple? I don't know. Let's swatch it. So that's Calmness. Very pretty. Very pretty. I cannot wait to put this on my eyes. It's more like an emollient shade, but you can see it's a very beautiful green. It's not like, it's a very light but bright green. It's not like Kelly green. I really like this one. I totally can see like pink sparkles running throughout it. I hope you can see it. That gives it more interest to the eyes when I'm seeing it. Very pretty. Okay, let's move on to the 2 matte shades in that row, which is Serenity and Optimistic Outlook. These are extremely creamy shades. So that's Serenity and Optimistic Outlook. Feels like this is more like on the pastel-y tone, so it would be better if you use like a white base. It's very smooth on the touch, but I also feel like that might just blend away when you're blending it on your crease. That's beautiful. Okay, the last shimmer of that row is called Bright Prospects, and that looks magical. It's very similar to the texture of the Calmness shade, this green, and this moreover it's like a pink and a purple and a blue. Definitely a multichrome is what I would say. Very, very pretty. Very dimensional too. There you go. Like if you pair that with that blue, it would turn out to be like a more of a blue look rather than a purple look. But if you pair it up with the purples that are coming later in the palette, it will look more purple. Very pretty. Okay, let's move on to the next row. The next shade is called Faith, and this doesn't seem that shimmery in the pan. We'll swatch it and we'll see. It's like a light blue shade. Oh, it's definitely a duochrome. It's like a light blue to a teal. I also see purple. What? That was an unexpected, okay? Let me swatch it. Definitely need to smoothen it out with your finger. It has some texture, but stunning shade. I feel like this is going to be like a transformative shade. Like if you pair it out with blues, it might just show some other color, but if you pair it up with some other greens, it might show some other color. You see such a neon vibrant green. I see blue at my end and pink. That's beautiful. That's a subtle but a beautiful multichrome. Can you see that pink coming through? That's pretty. Oh, I want to pair it with that pink and see how it looks. Okay, let's move on to the two mattes in the palette. The first one is called Luck, which is blue, like a mid-tone blue shade. And then we have Generosity, which is a purple. And this is what I have on my eyes, is the crease shade. Luck and Generosity. There you go. Those are the next two mattes of the palette. Okay, let's move on to the next shimmer of the palette, and this is Joy. It's such a beautiful duochrome, you guys. It's like a purple but with like gold flip to it. Such a stunning shade. This is what I have all across my lid. Such a beautiful shade. There you go, look at that. That's beautiful. It reminds me a lot of Glacier from Today's For Your Face, the shade that I created. Very pretty. My shade, I think, had like a little bit more oranginess to it, but this is more like a purple to a pink. Very pretty. That's like right up my alley. That's what I have all across my eyelid. Really pretty. Okay, let's move on to the last row. The first shade is called Healing, and this is an iridescent duochrome shade. It is like a white to a purple shifting shade. So let's watch that. My finger is so filthy, but let's watch it. I thought it was like a pink multichrome, but in my inner corners, it looks like more of like a purple multichrome, like a purple duochrome. You might need a little bit of like smoothing to do with this shade, especially when you're swatching. Hopefully you can see that. Like, can you see that? There's a piece that requires some smoothing out. There you go. But for the inner corner, or even like on top of that blue shade, that'll be amazing. Look at that. This is what I have on my inner corners. Very, very vibrant shade. See? Okay, let's move on to the next two mattes of the palette. The next one is called Strength, which is a green matte. Definitely much more deeper than the other greens that we swatched. And then we have Good Health, which is a black matte, and this is a stunning black. Look how smooth that was. There you go. Strength and good health. Beautiful. And the last shimmer that is left in the palette, that looks magical. It's called Spirituality. Hope and Renewal of Spirit. I love these kind of, oh my gosh. That's beautiful. That might be my favorite shade in the palette, okay? I've not used it as yet, but I cannot wait to use it. Wow. That's beautiful. So smooth too. That is Spirituality. Oh my gosh. You see like pink, like vibrant pink. I definitely see like a yellow gold to a green flip happening. But you see a strong pink flip. That's beautiful. Oh, wow. This is beautiful. This is definitely my favorite palette out of the two palettes that I've tried from MADWITCH Cosmetics. Really pretty. Now, once you've seen all the swatches, let's move on to the 3 looks using this palette. Okay, let's start off with the first look. So excited for it. Don't know where to start, so we'll start with purple, this one. Okay, I'm gonna take that. I'm wearing a purple top. You know how that rolls. So I'm just gonna take that in the outer corners. Yeah, that's good enough to be a crease shade. I was just worried if that will be too pigmented or not. This is the second palette that I own from MADWITCH Cosmetics. I've not swatched this palette as yet, but we'll do it together. So pretty. I'm actually going on a date with my husband, so I'll try not to overcomplicate things because he's just waiting for me right now. And I had a little break, so I thought, okay, let's just do a video while we're getting ready to go. So you saw how easy and blendable that was. It has a little kick up in the pan, not outrageous, and it doesn't bother me. Also going to take the same shade on the lower lash line. Okay, I'm going to take this shade now, Optimistic Outlook, the pinky shade, and just blending the edges. That meshed very nicely. I'm also going to take that same shade on the lower lash line. For the extreme outer corners, I'm going to take this black shade. Why are we going row wise? I don't know. Sorry, column wise. But let's do it. I'm taking this black, super pigmented black, but it blends very nicely. That took seconds to blend. Okay, I'm just tapping the outer edges. Nothing much. Just to give the depth that we are looking for, and melting with that purple. Now time for some shimmers. Let's take NYX Glitter Glue, just a tad bit. Let's take these two, this and this. Yeah, let's take this and this. This is Joy. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. That is so pretty. Okay. Actually, I take it back. I'm gonna take Joy all across the eyelid. That is so pretty, you guys. This has a beautiful, like a greeny shift going on. That is very pretty. I'm gonna take this shade, Sense of Hope. It's like a green to a purple shifting shade. Hope you can see that. Going into the outer corners and meshing it with that black. I feel like that needs to be shown by itself, just so that you can see that shadow all in its glory, because that is a beautiful shade. Okay, going back into that black shade, Good Health, and I'm just taking that across the outer corners, just not losing on the depth. Taking the same blending brush that we took Generosity with, the purple, and just melting everything together. And for the inner corners, the shade Healing, plop it right there. Oh, that's an iridescent purple shade, so that performs beautifully. That's pretty. Let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. And that's my first eye look. You know how much I love my purples, and this is right up my alley. I love the way how this turned out. It's purple, but it is muted, it's grungy, it's subtle. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is making my purple heart dance so badly. I really love it. Let's move on to the second eye look. I also wanted to update on the first eye look. I wore that the entire day. Nothing faded away, but I did experience creasing on this shade. I feel like it can be because I applied the NYX glitter glue. So today we're going to apply without any NYX glitter glue and see how it rolls, because I know for a fact, like when I apply NYX glitter glue with like even Ensley range shadows, it creases. So we'll try it without it. Okay, I want to mix greens and blues together, so let's do that. I'm going to start off with this green, which is Strength. It looks like a very nice green, and I have a vision in my mind. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we're going to see how it rolls. I don't have anything, like no eye primer, nothing on my eyes, just on my bare eyelids. And if we want to deepen this up, we have a black to deepen everything out. So I'm not worried about that. That's a beautiful, okay? That's so great, so beautiful. Let's take this shade, Serenity, and I'm gonna take that in the inner portion of the crease, right there, okay? I'm gonna stop it right there just because I'll apply the other blue in the center, right there. And now going with Luck and just taking that and stamping it right in the middle. I'm gonna take the shade Inspiration and I'm gonna take that on the edges just to blend everything together. And for the lower lash line, I am gonna take this Strength shade right in the outer corners and blow it out with this Inspiration shade. Now let's do some shimmers. I know it's so much. Okay, now let's do some shimmers. Let's start off with this shade, this blue greeny shade, Faith, and let's see how that rolls. I want to take that right there, melting it with that green and blue. I want this to be the center of the eyelid shade. It's a very thin shade, but it shifts very nicely. I'm going to take that brush which we applied green with no additional product, just tapping the edges. Okay, now for the inner corners, I'm going to take this shade Spirituality, this one. It has that pink shift to it, but it also has that green. I'm just going to take it on a brush, again not spraying or anything. Look how stunning that is. That is a beautiful shade. I'm going to melt it down with that green, but taking it right on the crease too, on the leftover portion of the entire eyelid. Also going to take the same shade on the inner corners. Just going back into that Faith shade that we applied and just melting both of those things together. That's beautiful. I'm going to finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. And that's my second eye look. I really love the way how this also turned out. I love that all the shimmers that I've applied on my eyes, they're very smooth, and you can see how shifty they are. It's really pretty. I cannot wait to see what all we can create. This is definitely outside my comfort zone because of the blues and the greens. But let's see what is left. Actually, I've not used this shade, this shade. It's like shimmer heavy. I definitely want to combine green and purple together. So let's go in that realm and see how we roll. Let's start off with this purple shade, and then we'll take that in the outer corners. I want to use as many shades as I can from this palette so that I can use majority of the shades and then tell my opinion on this. Of course, I'm using this only like 3 times, so I won't be able to give you my final opinion, but at least I'll have used it like a couple of times and all the shades before I start giving my opinion. Okay, let's dip into this shade, Positivity, and I'm gonna take that in the inner part of the crease. I just dipped in like once, but this is definitely much more grungier than this shade. Okay, just on the crease. I like that actually. That green I can deal with. Going back into that purple, just melting both of these together. What are we taking? Okay, let's take this one, Bright Prospects. I'm just gonna take that a little bit. That's bright and beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm not touching the outer corners just because I don't know right now whether I want to deepen that up or not. Most probably I will. But let's go into this shade now, Calmness. It's like a very beautiful, like a cool tone green. Look how bright that is. That's stunning. It's like glowing. Melting it with that purple. I love a good green and a purple combo. And these two are meshing very well together. Oh, I like that. I really, really like that. Now for the outer corner, I'm going to dip into this black shade, Good Health. I'm just tapping it right there in the outer corners. And then I'll take that purple shade again, this one, Generosity, and just go over the edges. And this will give us the depth that we are looking for without losing any like shades. I feel like the only shade that we've not used is this one, Renewal of Spirit, and I didn't want to use this because I want to use this in like a blue smoky eye. Let's see how that rolls. Okay, let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. And that's my third eye look. I really love the way how this turned out too. Oh my gosh, I really am impressed by this palette right now. I didn't have like much high hopes. I loved the color story and I knew that there's like endless options to do so many looks. But apart from one shade, I've used everything in this palette and I cannot wait to use that. Let's do a bonus fourth look, okay? I couldn't contain myself. I'm gonna go into Optimistic Outlook and I'm gonna take that on like a transitioning area of my crease. Just a very light dusting of it because I wanna play with that electric blue shade and I want to pair it with this pink in the crease. I'm going to take the same shade on the lower lash line. I'm going to take the black, the Good Health shade, right in the outer corners and also in the inner corners, but I'm just tapping a very light bit. Don't worry, trust the process. Going back into this Luxe shade, which is that blue, and placing it right on top, just so that that blue gets into a little bit more of a deeper blue. I'm not being precise at all. Let's just do the blue shimmer on the entire lid to see how that rolls. It's a very electric blue shade. Not taking any glitter glue or anything like that. I totally can see like that blue to a purple shift going on. just meshed everything together. I love that. Okay. Don't you worry, we've not done. Going with the same shade on the other eye too. I had a little bit of blue in my nail. That's why it just performed like that. I'm gonna take it on a fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna take that same blue and just blend the edges just to get it more of like a rounded look. We almost covered everything with that blue. Going into that pink shade, Optimistic Outlook, and just blending the edges. I'm just gonna go on like a circular motion on the edges, just so that it's not like a harsh line. Just like that. I'm not worried about the fallout, just because I'll have to clean it up no matter what. I definitely can see a lot of pickup in the pan. I'm just taking the same shade, lower lash line. Now I'm taking that black again, the Good Health shade, and just tapping right there on the edge, just to give it a little bit more dimension. You can actually not do the black shade as I did in the beginning and just do this shade after you've applied the blue. That might just save you one more step, because you'll exactly get the same gradient, because we covered out that black and the blue matte shade with the shimmer anyways, and I cannot even see the blue, so yeah, just ignore that. Okay, now let me clean up my under eyes and I'll come right back. For the inner corners, I'm gonna take this shade, or should we take this? Yeah, let's take the shade Spirituality, just a little bit, and I'm gonna take that right there. Look how beautiful that is. Beautiful. That on my eyes, I get reminded of Glacier so much. Yeah, that's beautiful. Love it. I just love it. Let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara. And that's my final look. I really love the way how this smoky eye turned out. It's so sultry. It's so vibrant. I really love it. Loved every bit of it. I don't even know which one to choose, because I have absolutely loved every look that I've created, and none of them have given any issues with me apart from the creasing that happened. And I will leave it on the screen if this look did crease on me or not, because I really am loving the way how this like feels on the eyes. Where on swatching it, it definitely feels chunky. Like some of the shades do feel chunky, but on the eyes, I don't feel that chunkiness coming. I can easily smoothen it out. For example, this shade, Bright Prospects, Calmness, Healing, these are all like very chunky shades when you swatch it. But as soon as I apply it on my eyes, it's very smooth. Yes, it is like dimensional. For example, these shimmers are definitely more like sparkly and dimensional, and these shimmers are more like smooth but shifty. I love it. I love them equally. I really like it. Very impressed by this palette, MADWITCH Cosmetics. Congratulations on this beautiful release. I do have a code with MADWITCH Cosmetics, it's SMITHYSONY, to save you 10% off. Now let's move on to the outro. Now, once you've seen all the 3 looks that I created using this palette, do let me know in the comment section below, out of the 3 looks, which one was your favorite. I really loved playing with this palette. The swatches were absolutely beautiful, as you saw, and I do have a code with MADWITCH Cosmetics. Save some money. My code is SMITHYSONY to save you 10% off. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this palette. It definitely looked very vibrant, but I feel like these shades mix and match together with these tones so well, and the shimmers that they chose with this palette was amazing. I feel like they added that black, and that was absolutely necessary for this palette, because we have a lot of like brighter tones to ground that look together. I feel like we needed that black, so well done for that. I definitely feel for like future looks, I love this formula, the Spirituality formula. I really loved. I love like the Joy formula. I like more of like a non-textural formula, Like I really love this on the eyes, and because it doesn't crease on me. I'm very excited for this, very excited for this. I definitely want them to concentrate more when they are concentrating on shimmers. Definitely concentrate on like a lighter tones. I think they've done a very good job because these are all like lighter tones of shimmers. They've only given us 2 deeper shimmers for like a smoky eye. I think they did really good. I think they absolutely did good with this palette. I am very happy with the way this palette swatched, the way it performed on my eyes. I'm excited for MADWITCH Cosmetics to see what they come out for the future. But that's all for today, guys. If you did like this video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post sex. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.